Hello, this is Yukio Nagasaki from University of Tsukuba, Japan. 我叫张继幸福，我来筑波大学. This is my name. As you know, this is peculiar. The Chinese character means happy and husband. So you don't need to memorize my name, Yukio. Please remember me as a happy husband. What I'd like to talk about today is a novel drug development based on self-assembly. First, I wanted to appreciate Professor Zhou for giving me this chance to present our work. Also, I appreciate Professor Dr. Kambara to support, like this. So let me move on to my talk. Drug development. Aspirin was developed more than 120 years ago, but recently, limitation of organic synthesis is available. So you cannot find, new compound for new drug. So last 20, 30 years, new modality, protein becomes drug, like a pegylated protein or immunocheckpoint inhibitor. We say biomedicine. However, the problem is cost. Opdivo cost, 35 million yen, Japanese yen per year, and other, 10 times higher drug available recently. So we need to suppress the cost of drug development. The drug delivery system, which is, cheap drug, delivery of cheap drug by nanocarrier. However, recent clinical trials said, only few percent of nanoparticle accumulate in tumor site. Another problem is leaking of drug. Even though you delivered, the nanoparticle in tumor site, but it might be, empty. So this is limit of the drug delivery system. So we are focusing on drug development by molecular self-assembly. What is this? Feature of self-assembling drug. Creation of pharmacological function that occur only after self-assembly. Reduction of side effect unavoidable with low molecular weight alone. Cheap and safe material design. So today I wanted to explain, three topics is by self-assembly, antioxidant, amino acid, and short-chain fatty acid. However, due to the limit time, so I put, the second part for amino acid and the short-chain fatty acid. Here, I'm focusing on antioxidant self-assembly. Let me explain oxidative stress and antioxidant. Oxidative stress causes everything, including environment. So reactive oxygen species derived from oxygen plays an important role to cause disease. So we wanted to eliminate this kind of reactive oxygen species. In order to eliminate this loss, antioxidants are developed and applied. This is a review article about a clinical study of antioxidant. More than 200,000 clinical trial data of the randomized studies show beta carotene is 7%, vitamin A is 16%, vitamin E is 4%. What is this? Increase the risk of death. So when you administer antioxidant every day, your life shorten. Why? Which causes? Let me explain. When you administer low molecular weight antioxidant spread to entire body, internalize into healthy cell. However, in healthy cell have a very important redox reaction, such as electron transport chain. Here, huge amount of loss are generated when we administer uh, to antioxidant and suppress this reaction. We cannot survive without energy. So important loss must not be suppressed. What is important? Overproduced loss related to disease must be selectively suppressed. What we have done, we designed amphiphilic block copolymer like this, introduce here nitroxyl radical, tempo molecule, probably you know stable nitroxide radical. However, this react rapidly with loss and catalytically react. So we conjugate. This is important point. We conjugate by covalent linkage the tempo molecule on the hydrophobic segment of the block copolymer. Spontaneously formed in aqueous media polymer micelle like this with a several 10 nanometer size. How different between low molecular weight antioxidant and self-assembling antioxidant? Let me show you. This is data of zebrafish. We put low molecular weight antioxidant here, and like this is survival under a 3 millimolar level of temporal low molecular weight antioxidant. After 5 days, all of them died. In a 30 millimolar level, they immediately died like this. We stain the mitochondria here. Normal is light, red, but temporal treatment shows, dark, which means, completely died mitochondria. When we administer nanoparticle here, we abbreviate RMP, you can see here even 30 millimolar level, most of zebrafish alive after 5 days, and mitochondria was still healthy like this. So we suppressed the adverse effect of antioxidant by using self-assembly structure. Okay, let me show you therapeutic effect of self-assembled antioxidant. Here we started to use them for ischemia reperfusion injury. So when blood stop and after a while reperfusion occur, at the moment the level of oxygen increase abruptly and then generate reactive oxygen species and causes the damage. We administer our nanoparticle after reperfusion. Let me show you. This is electron spin resonance spectra of temporal molecule. You can see here in the blood and the kidney, the ESR spectra of tempo molecule become broad like this, which means the tempo molecule are confined in the solid core of the nanoparticle, regardless of the blood or kidney. But another nanoparticle, we designed two different nanoparticle, pH insensitive nanoparticle here and pH sensitive nanoparticle here, which disintegrate under acidic condition. So you can see here the ESR signal in blood shows broadening signal, but in the injured kidney show triplet signal because after reperfusion damage occur and the inflammation decrease the pH of the kidney. Then pH sensitive nanoparticle disintegrate like this and this expose tempo molecule outside. Then we monitor the reactive oxygen species level as compared to normal ischemia reperfusion model mouse increase the loss level in kidney like this 4 times, 5 times. However, after at this stage, we administer our nanoparticle and suppress the loss level like this due to the exposing tempo molecule in case of pH sensitive nanoparticle. This is pH insensitive nanoparticle. Also decrease the loss level to some extent, but the pH sensitive nanoparticle shows much higher effect and recover almost same level of control. This is kidney function. We measured blood creatinine level and blood urea nitrogen level. As compared to control, ischemia reperfusion model mouse increased the creatinine in blood, BUN in blood, which means dysfunction of kidney, and increase 10 times like this. However, our nanoparticle treatment decreased the creatinine level and BUN level similar to the control. So this means scavenging reactive oxygen species recover the kidney function like this. So other example, the cerebral ischemia reperfusion stroke. You can see here the volume of infarct of the stroke model is like this. But after reperfusion, we administer our nanoparticle like this. So the size of infarct, stroke, was half. So we did not decrease the size. But let me tell you, after stroke and 1 day, the size of infarct increased like this. But we could suppress the loss damage and keep the small size of the infarct like this, which is done by a rat. Another example is heart attack, effect of myocardial ischemia reperfusion. This is similar, the size of infarct decrease by our nanoparticle treatment. So ischemia reperfusion often causes in a several organ, and we can recover by our nanoparticle antioxidant. Another example is Alzheimer disease. As you know, we do not know the reason to cause Alzheimer disease, but late to stage, several protein aggregate such as amyloid beta and causes inflammation there and generate reactive oxygen species. Loss damaged the neuron cell. So we wanted to eliminate loss by our nanoparticle. This is Alzheimer model mouse, and this is normal mouse. After a while, he found the table here and to rest. Unfortunately, due to the less cognition and less memory, he cannot find table, and it takes long time. I'm very much sorry about him. Yeah, this is escape latency time. The healthy mouse took 25 seconds. We monitored 4 weeks, but the Alzheimer model mouse took the 1 minute average. We administer our nanoparticle to this mouse and become like this. After 4 weeks, the cognition level becomes same as normal mouse. So we could suppress the inflammation loss level in brain like this. Oh, this is marathon. We eat lemon during exercise, but there is no report on the positive effect of antioxidant on marathon and sports. So we have done our nanoparticle for a running experiment using treadmill like this. Oral test 40 meter per minute. Before exercise, we administer our nanoparticle, and then normal rats without antioxidant run average of 60 minutes. So above 2 is low molecular weight antioxidant. Bottom 2 our nanoparticle. So you can see here 0.7 millimole injection runs 45 minutes 25% decrease the running time, and 0.34 millimole level, runs 60 minutes, same as, normal rat without antioxidant. Like this, the running time decreasing. This is due to the adverse effect. You can see our nanoparticle improve, extend the running time 25%, and finally 0.96 millimole runs 1.5 hours, 50% increase like this. So let me explain, mechanism. There are a long story, too short. The hemolysis occur, rupture of red blood cell occur during exercise, probably due to the mechanical impact of sole of leg and road. Then release iron, like a phantom reaction. They generate reactive oxygen species, which attack again to red blood cell, which damage, and again, hemolysis occur, rupture occur. This is negative vicious cycle and decreased number of red blood cells, and finally they cannot deliver oxygen. By using our nanoparticle, stop loss for a long time and stop this negative vicious cycle. So another example, gut-brain axis using our antioxidant nanoparticle. What is gut-brain axis? Recently, many people are focusing on relation between gut and brain. So the condition of gut, especially intestine, affect the condition of brain. So we can selectively scavenge reactive oxygen species and suppress the inflammation in intestine. So we started to confirm how relate between the loss level or inflammation of intestine and the brain. So we prepared the depression model using like this. Mouse is put in a conical tube for 6 hours for 3 weeks. I'm sorry to these guys, but due to the stress, the thickness of mucosa is decreased as compared to healthy mucosa, and also goblet cell blue part decrease, number of goblet cell decrease as compared to healthy. But the administration of our nanoparticle scavenge reactive oxygen species and did not decrease thickness of mucosa and decrease the goblet cell like this. So the stress-induced damage to intestine was suppressed by our antioxidant nanoparticle. How relate to damaging intestine and brain? This stress causes the depressive syndrome like this, and the normal mouse is actively mobile, but depressive mouse did not move like this. So we monitor immobility time here. As compared to healthy mouse, depression mouse increased the immobile time like this. But our nanoparticle scavenge intestinal loss decreased the immobile time like this. So we had several other experiments. We monitored the hormone corticosterone in blood. This is well known that depressive model, depression increase corticosterone level in blood like this as compared to healthy. Depression model increase here, but our nanoparticle treatment scavenge loss in intestine, decrease corticosterone in blood. Nanoparticle itself do not internalize into bloodstream, but we could suppress the corticosterone in blood. This is messenger RNA level in brain. BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, decreased for a depression model, but our nanoparticle treatment in intestine did not decrease like this. So on the basis of these results, the elimination of intestinal loss recover the depression like this. The final example is the infection. Not only COVID-19, but also other infection disease increase the cytokine level initially. We say, cytokine storm. And also it is well known that reactive oxygen species level significantly increase accompany with the cytokine level. So our idea was to suppress loss, to suppress cytokine syndrome. Because we could not use, the COVID-19, so we use malaria infection model. We prepared malaria infected mouse and inject our nanoparticle. Then this is preliminary experiment we started last year. So viability of mouse of control and low molecular weight antioxidant like this. But in case of RMP, extended the viability. This is a movie of malaria mouse. This is not die, but damaged very much. But in case of our nanoparticle administration, you can see very active moving like this. Okay, as I tell you, I wanted to tell another example, but I'm going to skip them. Please visit this movie. So in conclusion, self-assembled antioxidant prepared by polymer self-assembly avoid mitochondrial dysfunction, long circulation, and spatial temporal control of antioxidant activity works, the sports, Alzheimer disease, cancer I haven't told today, or infection disease. Before I close my talk, if you have any question, please email me to happyhusband@nagarabo.jp. Thank you very much for your kind attention. 谢谢。